What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Dummy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video, and Assassin's Creed Shadows has been a game that everybody's been talking about. This is a game that, ever since its official launch trailer, has been ratioed for very obvious reasons. Now, people have gone back and forth on what's going on with this game, whether it's the disrespect that's being given to Japan, whether it's the disrespect gamers are being given, or if it's the overall blatant DEI agenda that is shoved within this game. And just a few months ago, we did get it confirmed that, yes, Ubisoft was officially delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows till February 2025. Now, their reasoning and justification is most likely because of bugs, due to the fact that they did specifically cite Star Wars Outlaws as a justification as to delay it. And when you consider Star Wars Outlaws was filled with bugs on launch, it's no real shocker that that's more than likely the reason. But it also wouldn't surprise me if they also plan to utilize the whole Black History Month agenda and try to use the fact that Yasuke is the famous historical black samurai to try to help push the game even further. Well, since then, people also pointed out the fact that, yes, this game is heavily filled with DEI, woke agenda, progressive politics, intersectional feminism, all the stuff. You can blatantly see it within the marketing itself. And it's really interesting to see, as people point this out, and you hear this. Assassin's Creed Shadows boss claims DEI is killing game, not only doubles down on it, but also attacks critics. So instead of, doing the right thing and acknowledging that, yes, the DEI has been harming the game and we're going to be taking it in a different direction. No, you're just going to double, triple, quadruple down like these people often do because you're just not in it. You don't understand their own identitarian mindset, their own religion, that you are the bad guy. And if you criticize us for pushing our religious values, you're just a bigot. As reported by Eurogamer, Coffe made an appearance at a BAFTA event where he shared that discussions of Ubisoft's DEI policies can influence how our games are perceived, but rather than shy away from those conversations, we should see them as an opportunity. From there, he attempted to gaslight people in attendance by stating, Assassin's Creed has always been about exploring the full spectrum of human history, and by its very nature, that history is diverse. Staying true to history means embracing the richness of human perspectives without compromise. He continued, for example, in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we highlight figures both fictional, like Neo, and a Japanese woman warrior, and historical, like Yasuke, the African-born samurai, never a samurai, yes, was African-born, but was a slave. While the inclusion of a black samurai in feudal Japan has sparked questions and even controversy, Neo, as a fictional character, has also faced scrutiny for her gender. Well, that's more because there wasn't really any female ninja or anything like that, but for the most part, no, actually. Neo hasn't been faced with any backlash. Neo hasn't been faced with anything like that. People have been solely talking about Yasuke, not Neo. But you're going to try to say, they're both being attacked, they're both being attacked, they're both being attacked. No, because Neo's completely fictional. Yasuke was a historical character that wasn't a samurai. But, ignore all that. He then justified the character of Neo, but just as Yasuke's presence in Japanese history is fact, so too are the stories of women who defied societal expectations and took up arms in times of conflict. Neither here nor there, but they weren't actually in combat roles. They were more espionage and femme fatales, not really combatants. So while both Neo and Yasuke's stories are works of historical fiction, they reflect the collision of different worlds, cultures, and rules, and their inclusion is precisely the kind of narrative that Assassin's Creed seeks to tell, one that reflects the complexity and interconnectedness of our shared history. Well, I mean, you could do that. You can do that with an actual Japanese samurai and Neo, two fictional characters. You could easily do that. But you chose not to because you chose to go down the more woke progressive rabbit hole. You decided to side with the DEI agenda. You can have your black characters. Nobody is as opposed to black characters. People want African characters. People want this stuff. People want Assassin's Creed games set in Zulu. One of my favorite Assassin's Creed games follows Adewale over in Haiti. Now that's DLC, yes, but I love the Adewale story. Adewale is my favorite character in all of Assassin's Creed. He is a fantastic character, and the revolution that happened over in Haiti that he helped instigate within the world of Assassin's Creed is a good DLC. Why can't we do more stuff like that? Why can't you go do things like that? Do things that make historical sense instead of pushing BS agendas that aren't based in actual fact, that aren't based in actual history. No, you want to push your own stuff. You want to push your own agendas. You want to try to double, triple, quadruple down on your DEI rhetoric that, by the way, you even admit has been affecting the games. You have your CEO, Yavels Gametti, saying, no, none of this is affecting our games. None of this is affecting our games. Yet your own boss, your own boss outright admits this stuff is infecting the games because it's at the corporate level. Interesting how that all happens. Cote then pulled out their tired talking point that leftists always use. It's always been woke. Or, in this case, it's always been diverse, he said. And this isn't new ground for the franchise. From Altair to Evelyn de Grepe to Connor, I'm not going to be able to actually say his Indian name, but Connor in Assassin's Creed 3, we've constantly introduced protagonists from diverse racial, ethnic, and gender identities. History is inherently diverse, and so is Assassin's Creed and the stories we tell. And there's nothing wrong with that. No, what you're saying is something true, but take note of the timeline and where they come from. Altair was from the Middle East during the Crusades, where you followed the assassins or the assassin back then in a historical time piece. Evelyn is from slave era South over in Louisiana. I believe it was Louisiana, either Louisiana or Mississippi. She fit the timeline. She fit what she was supposed to do. It made sense for her. Why didn't you bring up, Adewale? Adewale was a fantastic character. Black character, by the way, from Haiti, and he participated in the Haitian Revolution. Why don't you bring up him? Oh, because you don't want to. Even Connor. Connor makes logical sense. Connor actually works for the time that they were going to be in. The American Revolution. That all makes sense. All these things make sense for the time period, the places, the areas. That all makes sense. So when it comes to Naomi, that makes sense for her to be there. That makes logical sense because she is a Japanese citizen. She is a Japanese Koinichi, one of the two. That's perfectly fine. Even if Koinichis weren't actually in combat rules and were more espionage, not actually combatants, it works for this, okay? It doesn't work for Yasuke because 1, Yasuke wasn't a samurai. 2, Yasuke was in one fight that he was forced to be in, and he lost. Why don't you actually put in an actual historical samurai? Why don't you actually do something like that? That would make more logical sense. You could deal with a more diverse culture, a culture that we're not used to, feudal Japan. Beautiful, rich culture, by the way, that you don't want to actually give proper reverence to because you want to push in your own bullcrap. Nobody has a problem with anybody else. Why? You never hear anybody bitch and moan about Adewale. Nobody bitches and moans about Evelyn. Nobody bitches and moans about Altair. Nobody even bitches and moans about Assassin's Creed Origins main character, whose name is escaping me right now. Nobody complains about those characters. They might complain about certain aspects of the stories, but they don't complain about those characters. Why is that? Why don't they do that? Because they fit the cultural time period, they fit the area, they fit everything. They are a perfect match for this storyline. Shocker! If you actually do things respecting the culture, respecting the timeline, respecting the history, nobody has a problem. Not one person has a single problem with that. But it's when you start pushing your own agenda BS that people start having problems with it. Heck, you can even look to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The female character is escaping my name. Actually, both characters are, because I never played Odyssey. I was doing my own little thing at that point in time. But nobody really has a problem with Odyssey's main character being canonically female. Not one person really has that issue. People actually really like Odyssey. So why is it that in all these other instances, nobody has a problem, but here they do? Oh, it's because it's very blatantly obvious what you're trying to do, and you're trying to bemoan the audience for calling it out and saying that it was always woke, or was always diverse, or was always this, instead of acknowledging the actual arguments. You're straw manning instead of steel manning. So to be clear, our commitment to inclusivity is grounded in historical authenticity and respect for diverse perspectives, not driven by modern agendas. No, it literally is driven by a modern agenda, because the thing is, you wouldn't choose Yasuke if it wasn't for the fact that he was the sole black person in history at that time. He's the only reason you chose Yasuke. It's blatantly obvious. You could have made up a historical samurai. You could have chosen an actual historical samurai. You could have made up your own fictional character. But no, you wanted to choose Yasuke, who's an obscure character that, one, wasn't a samurai, but you have enough people coming out here and always saying, yes, he was a samurai. Yes, he was a samurai. Yes, he was a samurai. Two, he was obscure enough to try to hide the fact. But three, he's black, so obviously you chose him. It's plain. It's blatantly obvious. It's so blatantly obvious that it's painful to point it out. It's no shocker that any of this happened this way. Next, Cote attacked critics of Ubisoft's diversity and inclusion policies, which he is clearly an advocate for. Alongside these deep-rooted franchises' values is our commitment to recognize and listen to legitimate criticism as an essential part of the creative process. Our community helps us grow, evolve, and deliver better games. Today, we all, however, face the added challenge of distinguishing between genuine feedback and attacks driven by intolerance, he said. Wait, we already pointed out why you chose Yasuke. Because of intolerance, really, and because he's a token character to you, and because you're just giving out a token character, it means you think lesser of black people, and also you think lesser of Japanese people. Okay. Our commitment helps grow and evolve and deliver better games. You know, all this criticism. We like legitimate criticism. What about all the criticism Japanese players are giving you? What about all the criticisms Japan's been giving you and the Japanese audience has been giving you? They've been coming out in full force against this game and everything that you've been putting out. What about their criticism? What about their thoughts? Are you taking those into account? No, you're not. You're not. Because if you were, you'd be acknowledging foliage, architecture, bad kanji, bad dialogue, so on and so forth. Other issues that the Japanese audience has been pointing out that connects more to Korea, China, so on and so forth, and not Japan. But those are the disingenuous criticisms, right? Those are the bad faith criticisms, because they're pointing out other aspects other than just Yasuke. No. They're talking ill about our game, so that's inherently bad faith. Yeah, you disregard all criticism as nothing more than bad faith, and then try to hide behind the historical fiction while at the same time saying it's historically accurate. It's one or the other. It can't be both, and you can't have it both ways. The current climate is tough on our creative teams. They face lies, half-truths, and personal attacks online. Wait. You're the one saying Yasuke is historically a samurai, which is a lie. And personal attacks, you're the one calling us all sexist, racist, bigots, and all that stuff right now. You're the one saying that we're the intolerant ones. Maybe you're the one that's pushing all this stuff. Remember, confession through projection. Confession through projection. He's been bemoaning all of us as this when he's doing it himself. He continued, when the work they pour their hearts into is twisted into a symbol of division, it's not just disheartening, it can be devastating. What keeps me going is the resilience born out of conviction that I see in our teams every day. I am especially proud of the Shadows team for staying true to their creative vision and the core tenets of Assassin's Creed. Wow. Well, confession through projection. Also trying to use an emotional argument at this point and say that they're the victims, that they're the ones being bullied when they hold all the power and do nothing but bemoan the audience and the critics the entire time as nothing more than disingenuous bigots. Kote declared, by choosing Naoi and Yasuke as protagonists, we are expanding the narrative landscape, offering new points of view that challenge established norms found in many works of fiction, while staying true to the history that shaped them. Wrong and wrong. You could do the exact same thing with more accurate characters. You chose to do this because obscure black man. Nobody has a problem with Naoi. Everybody has an issue with Yasuke being portrayed as an actual samurai when he wasn't one. And all this, we're trying to stay true to story and all the works of fiction. That's the same thing again. You have to be one or the other. You cannot be both. You can't be historically accurate and historical fiction. You have to be one or the other. And what's your best bet is to always say we're historical fiction instead of trying to hide behind historical accuracy. Because when you try to hide behind both, it all falls apart and it's you trying to have your cake and eat it too. At the end of the day, Assassin's Creed is not just a franchise, it's a platform for entertainment, dialogue, discovery, and understanding. Oh, look, it's not just a franchise, it's a platform for change. It's a platform. It's their ability to influence culture and push their BS on you, the audience. Our commitment isn't just about reflecting on the past, it's about ensuring that the stories we tell continue to unite, inspire, and challenge players regardless of their background. And we'll continue to stand by these values because they are central to the heart of the franchise, and I believe to the future of storytelling itself. Disingenuous, gaslighting BS. They're pushing this game filled with more progressive agendas, DEI nonsense, and they're trying to hide behind the fact that in the past we've done Adewale, we've done Altair, we've done these more cultural diverse games and stuff that nobody had a problem with until now. Why do they have a problem now? Oh, they're just bigots. Wrong. We can see through your BS, we can see through your lies, we can see what it is you are doing, and all you have in response is to attack the gamers, is to attack the audience, is to attack the critics, and just call us all intolerant bigots instead of facing the criticism head on. That always works out well for you, doesn't it? Ultimately, we believe that the diversity and richness of the human experience is what helps Assassin's Creed resonate with players across the globe, and we're committed to standing firm on the foundation, Kote asserted. You just gotta love it. Confession through projection. Blatantly gaslighting you. Blatantly saying that all of you criticizing us are just bigots. Pushing it over and over again. All while at the same time admitting that the DEI nonsense has infected the game. It was in the company and now it's infecting the way we view the game. But this game is probably gonna do meh. It might do somewhere similar to the way Dragon Age Veilguard is doing right now, considering that's coming in below average for its usual sales. I firmly believe that this game is going to come in relatively below average for Assassin's Creed franchise, mainly because we go back here to the delay and the admittance from Yves Guillemette, the CEO, that doing this has cost them an extra 20 million euros. Delaying the game has already put on an extraordinary amount of pricing. This game already is going to cost them a lot of money out the gate. The amount of time they put into it, the amount of over-bloated budgets that they keep putting into these games, mainly due to mismanagement, and the constant push for DEI nonsense. So you have all this stuff compounding on top of it. So that's already making your game cost a whole lot of money. Now you have the constant onslaught and attacks on gamers, the constant push against gamers, the attacks on gamers, the push against gamers, the bemoaning of gamers, the demonization of gamers. That's now going to cut into your revenue source as well. Then you also have the current standing of Assassin's Creed. It's middling at best. It's not the greatest ever, but it's not the best ever. So when you combine all these together, I predict that Assassin's Creed Shadows will more than likely not turn a profit. because when you keep combining all these factors together, it's not looking good for Ubisoft. And it's just another example of why you never go full woke. It all ends up biting you in the butt in the end. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.